All right, let's make some chili. Um, I think this is pretty much it. I usually have another. This is a poblano pepper. I usually have another pepper like Anaheim or something like that. Some of this stuff I may not use all of it. I may not use all the tomatoes. I may not use all the jalapenos. Some of this stuff is just figure it out as you go. Add some more as you figure it out. You don't have to use beer. You can use beef broth if you want to. You don't have to use a steak, and this is a cheap steak. It's a top round. I usually like to put a New York strip or ribeye in there. You can just use. Obviously, they sell the chili meat. All it is beef cut thicker. I just got some ground beef, the good kind from Aldi's. But and then the other thing is I usually use stewed tomatoes. All they had was crushed tomatoes, so we're gonna go with that. You use a little jar of garlic that's already minced instead of the real garlic. But we're gonna get all this together now. All right, so season the chili meat or the ground beef as you normally would with whatever seasonings. Same thing for the steak. Just season it like you normally would. All right, so steak is just browned. Same with the hamburger meat. I mean, it's almost all the way cooked. Little olive oil. We're gonna put the onions, garlic, and bell pepper first. Cook that down a bit. All right, that's been going for about 10 minutes or so thereabout. Put the other peppers in there. Put the other chilies, jalapenos and poblano peppers. Maybe another 5 minutes or so. I'll start cutting that up, and we'll put the crushed tomatoes in and start working on the sauciness. See where the heat's at. Not quite middle. All right, this is about where you want to dice the steak up into little bite-sized cubes. All right, I put the stewed or the crushed tomatoes in, and then I put some water in the can, maybe a quarter cup. Then I don't know, what did I put? Maybe a cup of beer. That'll be all the beer. You can put broth. You can put broth or water in there if it starts to get too thick. So that's the base right there. I don't know. Those tomatoes might be enough. I may just be adding that one tomato in there, and that's it. All right, like I said, some of this is figuring it out as you go. This, right now it looks too thick, but we're gonna let those veggies and all that stuff is gonna break down and should make it more liquid. If not, the other thing I didn't do is I usually put tomato sauce in there, but because we had the crushed tomatoes, which looked almost like tomato sauce, and I put that big can in there, we're not gonna do that. But we're gonna watch it, and in the end, you want it a little thick, but that's in the end. But we'll watch and see this is how it looks right now. This is pretty good. We're gonna add the meat, ground beef. This is a pound of ground beef, drained. Well, mostly drained.
There it is, babe.
Okay. And then my hack right now is this is where I cook the steak and the ground beef, but I drained it. But this is the steak while I was sitting there. I'm gonna put that juice in there with all the spices and stuff from the steak. All right, that's a lot of meat already. We still gonna have this, so I think I'm gonna have to make some more sauce. There's the steak. Okay, so after I added the meat, you can see how chunky this is. So we need some more sauce in there. So I'm gonna put some more beer, some more water. I'm gonna eyeball it. And like I said, when the bell peppers and the peppers, onions, all that start breaking down, they'll also liquefy it. But you want to start a little more soupier than this. All right, so I did put about another half a cup of beer and about a cup of water. And we're gonna leave it right here. We're gonna cover it, leave it right here, and come back and check on it in a bit. Oh, all right, and now the spices. The biggest thing is the chili powder. That's what's gonna make it. So again, no measurements. We're gonna eyeball it. The chili powder is not like spicy. It's just chili powder. So we're gonna put that in there, give it its color, give it its taste. That's gonna be the main thing. So if it tastes more like spaghetti sauce instead of chili, you need to add more chili powder. I'm also gonna add paprika. We already got garlic, onion. So just really salt, pepper. I'll probably add a little comino or cumin, as you guys may know it. You could add things like red pepper flakes and stuff like that. Really, it's yours to do what you want to with it. You know what? As I open the cabinet over here, I see some Worcestershire sauce. I'm gonna put a couple dashes of Worcestershire sauce in here, along with the paprika and the cumin. I put about maybe a teaspoon of Worcestershire. I don't want it to be overpowering because that can be overpowering. The last of the paprika, which we have more in here. Paprika and chili powder. Mostly chili powder. And then and then the comino or the cumin. Not too much because then it's gonna smell like beans. Just want a little bit in there. And I can tell you more than likely I will be adding more chili powder. So I want to get this going, taste it. Oh, we haven't added the salt. And I'm gonna put a lot of pepper. Again, we'll let it go and we'll taste it in a little while, see what we need to do. Keep it going, make it come out good. Another chili hack. If you say you need to use beer for your chili and go get a big one, you use the beer for the chili and then you drink the rest. All right, let's see what we're looking at after about an hour. So this is about an hour. Stir it up a little bit. All right, we're about 2 hours in. You see where the temperature, by the way, it's all the way on low for those 2 hours. What I'm looking for is not to see, I want the vegetables pretty much disintegrated. So that's gonna, I don't want to be biting into a bunch of chilies and onions and stuff like that. You see, still got some pretty good chunks. Still got some pretty good chunks in there, but it's looking more and more like chili. I did put about 2 tablespoons of chili powder a little while ago. I did add another couple tablespoons, so that's 3 times I've added chili powder. Tastes good. Yeah, all the other spices, salt, everything's good. But you gotta realize is that this looks like it's pretty soupy. You gotta understand when it cools off, it's gonna thicken up. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water, maybe no more than half a cup, quarter cup, no more than half a cup of water, just to thin it out some more. And then I'm gonna probably cook it for another hour or longer. All right, we are almost 3 hours in. Get this a bit back. So it looks really watery, but we just gotta mix it up. And still see the peppers. Maybe I might have cut this stuff a little bit too big, but I'm still gonna let it go a little bit longer. And then it looks like some of that I put back in here, it's actually oil. Get some of that out. But yeah, I'm gonna say we're gonna try to go another half hour, and then we'll be good. All right, and this is about 4 hours. We we should be good regardless, because Mom wants to eat. A little too much grease in there. I should have drained the meat longer. But I don't usually have that much grease in here. But yeah, that's it. Now we'll turn it off, let it sit for 15 minutes or so. It'll thicken up. We'll take a look then and we'll be done. Alright, here's after it's set for a while. You can still see some of the peppers, or some of the chilies. Those are not the jalapenos, those are not even hot peppers. Poblanos are not hot, but pretty much everything's disintegrated, the onions and everything. It's about the consistency we want. Good to go.
What's not